Welcome to This Is My Architecture. I'm joined today by Greg from Financial Times. Welcome, Greg.
Thank you for having me.
What do Financial Times do, as if we need to ask?
So we're a global international newspaper, and we have a large website as well.
I've noticed, and also some pink papers I see on airplanes a lot as well.
Yeah, pink papers.
Now, you guys are doing some pretty innovative stuff around cost optimization. Tell us about what you were trying to solve for.
So the biggest challenge was trying to democratize to the teams the cost of the things they were building. So we have quite a few tools, and you can look up bills on an aggregate level, but it doesn't necessarily say to an engineer that thing X is going to cost Y.
So you really are trying to create a feedback loop, kind of like when I get my phone bill and I go, oh, I should probably behave a little bit differently.
Yeah.
You want to give that to your developers.
So we came up with a few strategies about what we should do in terms of cost optimization. One of the biggest ones we're going to talk about today is moving to Amazon Linux, and we want to give a feedback loop to show their progress and show how much money they might save.
So how did you build that process?
So basically we use Cloud Health. We have a Lambda function, and from Cloud Health we get the costs. There's a Lambda function here that will create a JSON blob and put it into S3, and basically that JSON is costs by team. And then we have a dashboard. There's basically some JavaScript and some HTML that sucks the JSON out and displays costs by team or cost by program collections of teams.
So I'm guessing these get put up on big screens in the office?
Yeah, we have them around the office. Most teams have monitoring screens or build screens where they might put build pipelines, they might put their alerts up in their dashboards, and some of them also might put their costs up there.
So this is a super elegant solution you built here, because there's no servers here, there's very few moving parts, so you're not actually spending a lot of time maintaining this. You're letting your developers focus on this, but the interesting thing you've got here is you've got like different views, so you're not just showing them what their spend is, you're showing how they're going and what they could be.
Yeah, so three parts to this. One of them is their aggregate spend in terms of all the different services they're using, which I haven't drawn, but what I have drawn is their Amazon Linux migration. So they have a little line chart by time, which gives them the percentage of Amazon Linux or the percentage of not Amazon Linux, depending which way you want to look at it. And then on the right-hand side to that is a bar graph in dollar terms of how much money they still might save by migrating.
So you know that that's a strong focus, obviously, for your organisation. If you can move on to Amazon Linux, there's real dollar savings to be had. Yep. So you're incentivizing your teams by just showing them, hey, if you spend a little bit of time here,
yep,
this is your result.
So it's quite important to make this simple to use. We didn't want teams to have to log into too many things or click too many ways or get an email report. We wanted a really simple thing they could put up and just get instant feedback on. And also we want to make the message really, really simple. So it's quite obvious that if you do this, this is what will happen.
Yeah, so you see the result. And I'm guessing a little bit of friendly rivalry between teams?
Yeah, we like to get teams to compete with each other. There might be occasional name and shame with some teams who might not be moving as quickly as we might like.
Well, you can see it on the screen and it's up in pixels, so there's no arguing the toss about it.
No.
And this gets refreshed on a pretty regular basis so people can see what's going on?
Yes, the billing granularity tends to be around hourly, but by the time that these systems all munch together, it tends to be by the day. So teams often can do, they can do some work during one day and then come in the next morning and they can see the results of that.
Brilliant. Sounds fantastic. Greg, thanks so much for sharing your architecture with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And thanks for watching This Is My Architecture.